Everybody, this is the Let's Talk About a Happy Hour podcast, and I'm Chrissy.
And I'm Chris.
Jay.
And I'm Crystal.
So, let's spotlight one of our happy hour ventures, Ball Bay.
Blood Bay.
Ball Bay.
And I want to specifically spotlight Ball Bay on Brook Road in Henrico.
What's your
Yeah.
what's your favorite bartender's name again?
Dennis.
This feels like a deja vu.
Dennis.
Dennis the Menace.
Dennis is the bartender of all bartenders. However, my husband felt some sort of way when we went in there and sat at the bar, and they have 4 bartenders, and I knew all of them by name. He felt some sort of way about
That
that.
means you frequent often.
But they're all good. I can tell you all of their names, but Dennis is my favorite.
Shout out Dennis.
Shout out Dennis. Yeah, their drinks are good. The food is also good.
Their food is very good.
The service is
Just
good.
a little bit
And
The music is good.
Yes, they typically have, I think they do karaoke on Thursdays, and they have a DJ on Fridays and Saturdays. I forgot which DJ is there now, but he's been there for a minute. But the music is really good.
I wouldn't mind doing a little karaoke situation after a few drinks.
Hey,
That'll
let's
be
do it.
Well, we're gonna hold you to it
Let's
next
do
time.
it.
I'm
Right.
waiting on it.
Right.
Then when we come on, we can have a little snippet of your story.
I'm saying that was a few.
I love to see it.
But overall, Ball Bay, all the way for me, yes.
Absolutely. I haven't had a bad experience.
Me either.
Yeah, even that little, what's that sauce, that little special sauce that they
Oh, the
have?
boiled
Oh, the Ball Bay
They
sauce.
call it bay sauce.
Yeah.
Bay sauce.
They put that shit on
Not to be
everything.
confused with bay
Good.
sauce.
It is so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
So,
But dang, man, did y'all hear about what happened today?
Yes. My
In
goodness.
Brooklyn, New York.
so what happened? I'm not up on the current events that happened today. What happened?
So these guys are getting ready to go to work. Random Tuesday morning, rush hour.
And ladies too. Ladies go to work too.
I was just talking guys collectively
Not just
as,
guys.
as a term of endearment.
He felt some sort of
He
way.
did.
You gotta be inclusive.
He's always taking care of the
Yeah.
work.
He is
Diversity.
absolutely.
But what happened on their way to work?
Thank you, Jay. The people were on their way to work this morning, rush hour, and on the N train in Brooklyn, Sunset Park, I think, area. This guy lights off a smoke bomb and starts blasting in the car. 10 people got shot. 6 other people were injured. And this guy is on the loose.
Oh, they didn't even catch the guy?
No.
That's crazy.
And then when they checked like the bag that he had, he had all kinds of fireworks and explosives.
Man, that's crazy.
That would be a wild thing having like a TSA type of checkpoint, like going to get on the train. That's gonna be like a whole.
You might have to now, though, with that.
I mean, this
Crazy.
world is crazy, but what are we gonna find out as the story unfolds? Is it mental health? Who knows?
Actually, they probably, because I don't like throwing the racist stuff out, but because he's black, they probably won't say it's mental.
That was my point.
I agree.
That was my point.
Yeah.
They're gonna go and find some tweets from 1986 that he was posting out there, that saying all kinds of crazy stuff.
1980s.
When he was 12.
Right.
Yeah, his mother saw signs, but never reported it. But
Right.
What kind of signs we talk about? Like he like to play video games or something?
I agree. Or do y'all think it's going to be similar to like the DC sniper type thing? He's going to do it and then lead people on the chase. How long? I mean, DC sniper was out for how long?
That was
It was a
wild.
minute.
Yeah, before he
It
got
was
caught. So I
a
wonder if
minute.
it's going to turn into something like that.
Evidently he thought it through. Because
No,
he
he
didn't get caught.
didn't get caught right away, but he had his little smoke mask and he was the fuck up out of there.
But why do that though?
Right, and this is what I'm saying. What drives people there? That you wake up this morning and you're like, this is what I'm about to do.
Like an innocent life to you. These people ain't do nothing
People
to you.
just
Like,
trying to
just
go to
random
work.
people.
It's early. Nobody wants to be on the train at 8:30 in the morning
Right.
on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday morning.
Come on, we're trying to be on a beach somewhere.
Well, I'm going to just say this.
On Taco Tuesday.
On top of
Taco
Tuesday.
Tuesday. I'm just going to say this. What if somebody was just 5 minutes before making a joke about his wife and he snapped and this is what he
Wait,
did?
wait,
Is he okay?
Oh, we really going back to
Yes.
one?
Yes.
No.
Because y'all were all in agreement, but that's okay. I just brought
I
it
thought we
up.
were done talking about this.
I brought it up because of how you guys felt about that.
Wow.
All right.
So
It's a difference.
we can move on.
No,
we can move on.
we gotta address it since you said.
Chris gonna come back from that slap. Those bullets right there. Some of those people not gonna make it. They ain't
That's
gonna
what I'm
make it.
saying. Today changed some lives, families' lives. Like,
Yeah.
we don't even know how these people are doing.
Right.
So it's different level of snapping. Just because you snap, it's okay as long as you
No,
snap in your level.
Are you really trying to compare?
Ma'am.
We are not having this conversation.
Ma'am.
What in the?
I'm not comparing. What he did was way worse. But what I'm saying is that as a society we think, I mean, maybe the consequences should be way different because of the crime it actually was, but morality, it is the same thing. You don't know what caused that man to snap. We don't know what happened. Could be mental. It could be that somebody just said something wrong to him and he went home and got all this stuff and just went off. Hey.
I just pray that, like, this dude isn't somewhere, like, on to the next situation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
that's the scary part.
Also, prayers out to those families
Yeah,
that
thank
you know
you.
those families that were
Yeah.
impacted by it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Especially
I don't
by
know
just
that I'm
trying to go to work or
Just trying to get
go to work or
somewhere.
school or whatever, trying to do what they gotta do. Use their
Some
lives
people
together.
ain't going home today. You know?
Right.
Some people are gonna go home to a changed home.
Oh,
Right.
this whole situation.
life, yeah.
Right. It's crazy. It's life shattering. Yeah, definitely
But-
prayers out.
Yeah, prayers out to that family. What about did you see in the news about the girl stabbing her boyfriend?
I heard y'all talking about this nonsense. This is crazy.
And I can't even.
So she stabbed her boyfriend a few times. I can't even remember how many times it was, but a few times. She killed him, and she pleaded mental illness.
Do we know what led up to this? Like, was he out
Temporary
here?
insanity? I mean, what?
They didn't say why she did it, but a couple of days later, she ended up somewhere out, restaurant or bar or whatever, having drinks, and some girl just actually went viral because she posted, she was filming her like out drinking and enjoying herself, and the lady was like, well, how you out here after you just killed your boyfriend? Like, you need to get out of here. So the girl got up and left. But I'm saying, like, how you claiming mental illness, but you out?
There's a lot of mentally ill people in bars every night.
Again, how can you tell
I'm
somebody?
not even joking. I'm just
How can you tell
serious. Like,
somebody
yeah.
how to be mentally ill?
Right, this is what I'm saying.
comes
It's
in
mentally
different
ill people
forms.
in every bar you go into.
I don't think.
Everywhere you go.
I don't think you can say insanity here. What probably happened was he probably got up and realized she put raisins in them potato salad and was like, "What the fuck is this?" And she she snapped.
She snapped.
You talking about my mama's
Right.
recipe.
Right.
This is a family
Next thing
secret.
you know. Next thing you know.
Raisins and craisins, you gotta mix it in.
My mama only let her eat hers in the closet.
Yeah, it'll be something. It'll be entertaining to see what comes about that. How many different people think so many different ways about it, and you know, with the courts, different judges can say different things and feel different ways, or juries or whatever. But speaking of judges,
Yeah, let's talk about that.
so y'all know where I'm going with that.
Talk about that.
Let's talk about that.
Yes, Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Congratulations, friend.
Yes, Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Okay.
All three of which
In the
cannot
bloodline.
I gotta
be.
see
In the bloodline.
Yes.
Like,
Ancestry.com.
Supreme Court judge.
That didn't even sound like real nice title.
right.
That's something to be proud about.
It does. It make you smile. Like,
It
seriously.
does. So proud of
They
you.
need to make sure she's in the history books, make sure the kids can look up and see, like, that's what I want to be like.
Right.
So she is. So within the same term, we have a Kamala and we have a Ketanji.
But you know what I'm
Crazy.
so happy about? Like, I wish I was younger coming up now. Like Darrell just mentioned, like the kids now can read about that in the history books. We had Obama as president.
Mm-hmm.
We had a female vice president,
Mm-hmm.
Kamala.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got a female supreme. That's awesome.
I mean, it's
Like, I ain't read about nothing like that with Martin Luther King when I was growing up. Like,
Yeah.
That was
Trying to get to where we are.
Right.
right.
You read about him trying to get to where we are, and our generation is going to be able to say, I was there when that happened. You know, so that's really, really
moving
good.
forward.
Born in
So-
D.C., raised in Florida, Harvard Law graduate. She's really decorated.
So this is the 116th Supreme Court judge. Out of that 116th, this is the third black person.
She look like she make good potato salad too.
You are
know what?
No raisins
And
allowed.
the raisins are now.
No raisins
She's
allowed.
the third black one out of 116
And
and
fried
the
good
first black woman.
That's
She's
She's
awesome.
the fifth woman, but first black woman, third black, that out of 116. This is where we are in 2022.
That speaks.
This is where we are. Finally,
It
Right.
speaks.
this is where we are. Even if we only have the one. Well, now the three blacks,
Well,
but the
it's-
first black woman, but
It's the first one. I mean, it's gonna be more.
Right.
I mean,
exactly.
That's
Right.
what it
We're here
takes.
So where there's one, there's many.
Right.
So our
The
kids,
gateway.
my
Just
our
like
kids
you
will be able to say they experienced the next.
Yes.
We can say we experienced the first. Our children will be able to say that they experienced the next.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
And then by the time our great grandkids get here, they can say, oh, well, it's 50. It's half,
Right.
you know, it's half and half, which is going to be a great thing that we won't be able to see.
That's
But
true.
it will be great.
That's gonna be amazing.
It will be great. So, so she's replacing a guy that's been there. He's 83. He's been in office since 94 for 28 years.
More
And he's retiring at 83.
I hope she does the same thing, and
Right.
I wouldn't be mad if there's a little bit of nepotism too.
Yeah, but how, look at all the stuff she had to go through to get there. You saw those
Jesus,
questions.
they were so
They
Oh,
was
my
cool.
It's sad that
They put her through
that the people
hell
make you go through so many unnecessary
to get what you
hurdles.
deserve.
To
No.
get what you deserve.
To get what you deserve.
I didn't like how it was like they would give her some compliments saying that she's more than qualified, but no, I'm not gonna vote for her. It was
Right.
like, what?
That's the thing. The vote counts.
Right.
So you can give me words, but you ain't doing it. It's a problem.
So the vote was 53 to 47. So there were some Republicans that said she was qualified as well.
Look at you, glass half full.
I
See,
mean,
Fox facts.
Facts.
It
Glass
is
half
what it
full.
is.
Yeah.
And she's not very old. She's only 51.
51, yeah.
It looks good because
Yeah.
she looks like she's like 37.
Yeah. You know, black don't cry.
It never
Yeah.
does.
That's good. The cocoa butter. No, I'm joking.
Right.
I'm joking.
She's only 51, so she can give us 30 years and won't still will be younger than the guy that she's replacing.
And I'll be
Because
happy
he's
for it.
83.
Right.
Yeah, so she get so we may have her for a while. Our grandkids may be able. Well, my grandkids will see her in office. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope I have grandchildren that,
Right.
Right.
that damn soon.
No, I hope not.
Yeah, but if she's in office 30 years, may I don't know. So what do y'all think now that she's in office and what's going on with her and all of this? How do y'all think she would handle the cases going on in South Carolina? Do you think she agrees, or who does agree with that?
Well, what we talk about what's going on in South Carolina, because South Carolina's a hick. Excuse me, it's a weird.
It's a hiccup.
Excuse me. It's a weird state. A weird state.
It's a hiccup. Oh, okay. Yeah, and it's so weird. I still remember. I'm just gonna digress for 1 second. But I went down to South Carolina. It was this was about 25 years ago. About
With the
27
bike?
years ago. No.
I thought it was freaking.
Right.
Yeah,
That was
look at
good.
that.
28 years, it was not. I was actually down there working, and I was walking. It was me and this another black girl.
Who that on the pole?
28. We were walking from the car, but we had to walk down the alley to get to a restaurant. We were with the rest of the people. We were in South Carolina somewhere. I don't know.
No, we don't never walk through that.
It wasn't like an alley. It was between two buildings just to get to the
That's
restaurant.
by definition.
That's the definition.
I mean, it was daylight. It wasn't closed in. It was like other doors, so people could go in other doors right there.
Okay.
So anyway, I was trying to make a long story short, but y'all making it long.
Let's make it long.
Anyway, this guy walked up to me and this other black girl and asked us how much.
Because y'all were in an alley.
Because we were walking,
Ladies
I
of the
guess
night.
the area we're in,
And
we
y'all
don't
was-
see black girls. This is
and
going
y'all
like
was in
28
the alley.
years ago. Asked us how much.
How much
And
y'all
so
make that night?
after he paid y'all for the service.
How much y'all make that
And
night?
so after he paid y'all for the services, what y'all eat?
I hauled ass back to the rest of our group. I didn't even address the man. I just kept it moving.
What y'all have
That
on?
is funny.
It was in the summertime. It was short.
Okay, so you
a
had
t-shirt.
So you were
I don't
serving.
know.
She had on. She
It
was
was
on the
serving.
halter.
She was
She
serving.
had on the halter.
It was 28 years ago. I mean, I was in my early I was in my late teens.
You
was
was
in
on
your situations.
I was in my late teens and I was only one child in, so.
This one said I was only one child.
So I looked a little different, a little younger, might have looked like I was a streetwalker, I don't know.
Okay.
Late at night.
But the guy in South Carolina, in Columbia, South Carolina, he has been on death row, and he's scheduled to the death. He got a death sentence.
Which is crazy.
He is scheduled to be executed on April 29th, but it's by his. The method would be by his choice, either lethal injection or was it electric chair.
First of all, this goes
I
back
thought
to
that was the only
Electric
two
chair.
choices we had was
you
electric
thought-
chair and lethal injection.
Did you
Oh,
think
no.
so?
So when there's
Oh
something
no,
It's South Carolina.
There's a firing squad.
This is South Carolina now. We talk about a hiccup.
They are giving
A
him the
firing
choice.
squad.
They're giving him the choice of the electric chair or firing squad. His choice.
Meanwhile, the actual punishment. Not saying that this, makes it any better or worse, but back in '99, I think he robbed a convenience store and ended up, killing the guy. Unfortunately,
Oh,
but
no. That's
he's
history.
been in
But
jail
still.
since '99, and now like they have him wait. What's this like? Almost how many years on that? Fox Facts.
Well, actually, he was found to the death sentence in 1977.
Wait, it's 1977.
Wait a minute.
That's when he was.
Hold on, no, hold on. Wait a
1977.
minute. I'm
20,
reading the wrong.
like 20, 23.
That was 45 years ago.
Yeah, that
Don't ask me how years exact.
But yeah, I don't think the crime
That
matches
was a
punishment.
But I can't get over the fact that y'all said a damn firing squad.
Yeah, and what they're doing is that
23 years ago.
they're letting the the correctional officers at random pretty much decide who they're going to pretty much volunteer to shoot him in the heart, which is the weirdest thing. So they're going to cover him with like cover his head and just aim at his heart and just blow him away, which is weird.
Oh,
like, who
man.
wants to die like that?
That is like some
Extreme.
third world.
It is.
But what are you putting the people that's on a firing squad through by doing that?
But why are they volunteering?
You
for that?
volunteering
Is
to
the
commit
thing,
murder, and that's
Like,
okay.
you
It might be part of the job. I mean, like literally,
To
the
kill
middle
Is
someone-
that a job requirement?
It
And
might
for,
be.
and for a
Volunteering
correctional
to murder.
officer?
Right.
No.
Meanwhile, he killed one person. He's getting all this like the death sentence, but there's people out there that kill people voluntarily or involuntarily and get like 5 years or something like that.
Or
There's,
some of them don't get none.
there's
It
cops
depends on
that
who you kill.
Yes,
have
that's
these
true.
no knock
That's
orders. They
true.
come in there and kill the wrong guy in the
Fox
wrong
Facts.
house, and
Who
they
did he
get
kill?
And they get
off.
off.
So this guy.
Zimmerman's still walking around.
Right.
Oh, that's a whole nother. That's a
So
that's a topic.
what he admitted to doing, he admitted to robbing a convenience store. He admitted to grabbing the bag of money from the county store before fleeing. But he said he shot the convenience store clerk in self-defense after the clerk pulled a gun on him. Now, that's still murder, but he should not
It's
have gotten a
self-defense.
death sentence for that.
Right now, that's self-defense.
Right, but that's what he has evidently been
Was
trying
anything
to,
to support that though? That it was self-defense.
I don't know.
It's his word against it. I could have sworn the law is innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, that's
I
what
mean,
I'm
if
saying.
the
Is there any
convenience store
footage or
had a
something?
gun in
Right.
their hand.
But is there any footage or anything about this case? Like, that sounds, depending on the town of South Carolina that we were
Right.
talking about.
So I wonder what his lawyer doing, because I mean,
Then they get
Well, his appeal has been denied already a couple of times, and he's appealing again, so it may delay the sentence, but he has 2 weeks before the 29th to make his decision on how he wants to die.
If not,
just give me an injection like that down. What's it?
That's not one of his choices.
I personally feel like
You
So
know,
what is
they
his
count the
choice?
fives, and I don't remember.
Electric chair or firing squad.
I think
Nah.
those
Listen,
type of
Those are the options?
That's cruel.
Those are his two
I don't
options.
like I'd rather
And
just
he
sit in jail.
has to choose.
Right, that's cruel.
Let him sit in jail for the rest of his life. Why you gotta?
Yeah.
Why they
Why
like
you gotta
that?
kill
Something
him?
like that?
Oh, South Carolina's eye fly.
And when is his deadline?
I think he had 14
He has
days.
14 days before the
From when?
29th.
So
Wow. Somebody needs to, does Kim Kardashian know about
So his deadline is this week, Friday.
Right.
Nah, she got dick inside. She busy.
Well, it's under appeal, so if the bill is still outgoing by the 29th, then it's a possibility they may push it. But to give this man his choice on how he wants to go, and to even have a firing squad an option, is inhumane to me.
Both of them is. Can you imagine putting that man electrocuted?
If we were dogs, Peter would be on it,
Don't you
and
even
everything would be
understand
hard.
that like you would smell bacon immediately?
I think the lethal injection is
He said,
quote unquote what they say is like that's you don't even feel like they give you one that like basically numb you,
Oh yeah.
and then the next one actually stops your heart from
It
beating.
depends though. I think with lethal injection, it depends on how you take a drug, because even with this fentanyl is out here, some people, they say a grain of salt worth could kill a person,
Mhm.
but then you have people that are out here just like taking it 3 and 4 times a day and they still living.
Yeah.
So I think it depends on your tolerance and how
Wait,
your
people
body
are-
reacts to
Well,
it.
I was
Take
gonna say,
it
what are you
fentanyl?
talking about?
I was going back to
Oh.
you said it was not supposed to hurt, but every documentary that I have seen on it, some people don't die immediately. They feel themselves catching their breath. Now me, and I don't know if anyone else can relate to this, but I've had heart issues, and I've been looking in the ceiling when the doctors have stopped my heart while I'm still
Oh,
alive.
I know that's right.
Right, and that's not a good feeling.
No, it's not.
Wow.
How hopeless does it feel?
Right, even though it was like for a snap second, it felt like
Life is
seconds for me, because that was
For
me.
Feels like life is leaving.
Right.
Well,
So if you
I've
have
been-
somebody on that table and seeing some of the documentaries that I saw, and they sitting there catching their breath and spitting up, that's torture.
Yeah, it is.
They're not here to tell you about it, but because I've experienced that twice, that's torture. For somebody to experience it any longer than what I had to experience it, and I had it with 10 people in the room with me, and people holding my hand telling me it's going to be okay, and they were just doing it knowing they were going to die. So that's torture to me.
Yeah, because I don't even want to think about that.
Yeah,
That
that's
kind of give me a little anxiety. Just thinking
Especially
about
like
it.
just knowing that, you know, today's Tuesday and I'm gonna be dead on Thursday. Like just knowing that you got a couple more days to live
And
your last
This
meal.
guy's been on death row for 23 years. So he's known for 23 years he was going to die. And I don't know how long ago they told him when his actual date was.
Right.
But if they told him 30 days ago, he's been the next 30 days counting down. 29
I can't
days.
even imagine
28
that.
days.
That's like,
I
Yeah.
cannot.
But there is a certain level of punishment that I feel like people should have for taking someone else's life. But taking their life, all it is they don't have to live with it.
Yeah,
Their
I
loved
think-
ones have to live
I
with it.
think they should not sit home, but sit in jail for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
I think that's more punishment than just
Absolutely.
that's the
Just sit
easy
there
way
and have
out.
to think about it.
And let them
Right.
sit like on death row. Like, have y'all seen Locked Up Abroad?
No.
I watched
Okay.
a couple episodes of
I haven't
that,
seen
and
it.
that is crazy.
Yeah, so Locked Up Abroad is this guy goes and does documentaries and goes into jails in different countries like he's some sort of criminal. He lives with them. And cameras follow him around and whatever. It's a crazy thing, but and maybe that's how we should treat people that we're putting on death row, because it's not going to cost us as taxpayers much money to treat them like that. They all, hundreds of them, sleep on the floor. They don't have a bed.
Nope.
They don't sit there and watch TV all day. Let them live like that for the rest of their days.
Yeah, but them not sleeping either.
That's
Them
still
not having a
torture.
bed is
It is.
inhumane.
But that's still torture.
It's
That's still
inhumane.
torture.
It
Yeah.
is, right. That's like an
What are
animal.
we talking
Yeah.
about?
It is torture, but they took someone's life, so you just take theirs. You can't actually. My personal feelings about it. You know, you're taking a life that God gave, and if you take that life that God gave, that really don't make you any better for them taking their life, because they took a life that God gave too.
But
So
shouldn't
then-
God be the one that's taking it?
That's what I'm
Not
saying.
a human?
That's what I'm saying. So don't execute them. Just keep them locked up. Keep them caged up. It is what it is. You're still taking their life without taking what God gave them. All you're doing is saying, okay, you have to live the rest of your life in captivity because you took someone's life. So
I
then
know, I
you
guess
think
I
about
probably would feel different if somebody took a loved one's life. I probably would feel different about it.
about
I
the
might
living
feel
or not
like-
living.
I might feel like, yeah, they need to die. I might feel like that if it's somebody really close to me.
Mhm.
I might feel like that. I might feel like I want to take their
But if
life.
they died, how is that
Fix
teaching
it.
them anything, or what is that doing
It's not
for them?
teaching them, but if you think about it, if it's somebody else's loved one, like you're causing me a lot of pain
Mhm.
to not have my loved one here because you decided to take their life.
Right.
Like,
So
so
what
why
pain
do
you
you
causing them?
deserve to still walk around and you know what I'm
Well,
saying?
what pain are
So-
you causing them by taking their life? They're not going to feel anything.
I know.
Causing the
it's
pain
just
of keeping them locked up.
it's two ways to always think about
It's a
things.
double
That's what
edged
I'm
sword.
saying.
It's
Like,
definitely a double edged sword.
yeah,
I think the only people I really don't care about is people that like rape,
yeah.
and especially rape kids. I think people like that should stay in jail and get
That's just a
ass
whole-
raped.
I feel like this
Every
is
damn
castrated.
day.
Exactly.
They should-
Not castrated, but get ass raped every day.
But it's still get castrated and still get ass
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
damn. That's a whole situation.
No,
saying.
no Vaseline. That'll fix it.
That
Yeah.
one.
See, y'all going all the way back to the Old Testament.
Wow.
Y'all go back to Old Testament days.
He's a wrathful. He's a vengeful.
We in the New Testament right now, y'all. We can't do eye for eye. That was Old Testament.
That wasn't in the Bible.
What?
Don't.
Not
we're
actually
gonna-
eye for eye, but talking about stoning and that type of stuff. That was.
Go
No,
from-
not eye for eye.
Go from stoning to getting stoned.
How
I
the
just
tables
don't,
have
I
turned.
just don't agree with that firing range though. That's bothering me.
But not only that, he's going to be blindfolded, and you have to anticipate the initial blow. That's a bit much. Like, and you know people are going to
And my
miss.
thing is,
on purpose.
right.
So it says firing squad. How many people are
I
going to
think
be
it's. I
fired?
think
would
it's
say
3 of
this-
them. I think it's
that's
3 of
all.
them.
I would think
I think it's 3.
That's kind of like what was it, the show that came on not too long ago, on Netflix. I didn't watch the game. It was some games.
Squid
Games.
Oh
I
yeah.
never watched
That
it.
was crazy.
That was crazy.
That was an
But
experience.
that's kind of like that's my visual seeing like you don't get it right and somebody just blow your head off.
But Lee.
Oh, okay, so firing squad. The return of the firing squad is a quicker but less sanitized method of execution. It's gaining ground in the U.S.
Gaining ground. That means just.
What are you talking
Wait,
about?
more states are doing
That's
this?
so
This is
popular.
new?
Trending
It's
on
popular.
Twitter.
6 years ago,
What
a
is
man.
Biden doing to allow this?
Listen, 6 years ago, this was before pre-Biden.
He can still do
Oh,
something.
that sounds something. That
So-
definitely sounds like something that would have been popping during the Trump administration.
Agent
Six-
Orange.
What year was it? This
This
was
is
coming
6
back?
years ago.
No, it's now, but this is saying 6 years ago, a man on death row in Nevada said he wanted to give up his legal fight and be executed.
What?
But there was a problem.
Well, that's different. You
Prison
chose-
officials couldn't find lethal injection drugs. So so he said he wanted to be executed.
That's different though.
No, but that's crazy.
So
that
how are
they-
you allowing you?
Yeah.
How are you dictating what's going on around here? You're in prison. What are we talking?
So amid an ensuing legal turmoil, the guy tossed off his own solution. He said, I'd rather be happy if they just took me out back and shot me. So they say he actually killed himself in 2019, but now his words seem to be president. And then it talks about on Thursday, South Carolina scheduled an execution of Richard Moore, who was convicted in murder in 2001 at a convenience robbery store. And he's scheduled for April 29th, so that's why they're talking about it.
Now, can you explain what a convenience robbery store is?
Oh, wait a minute,
Or
hold please.
2001. I heard 2001. So what the hell is 2001?
What she got in that wine?
I'm so used to saying 2021, 2022.
This motherfucker.
It went to 2001.
I said 2001.
2001.
I mean, y'all understood it? But get this. Now they say they have spent $53,000 to renovate a part of the prison to allow it this time. So you're not even taking them out back.
but
to
that's
the-
taxpayers' dollars. You should have just taken
But you gotta think about it. A lot of the prison systems are privately owned.
That's true.
Some of them ain't
True.
government operated, so I mean they can
They
make their
can't
own rules.
intervene.
But still, murder is murder. It's a crime
Yeah,
in any
facts.
fashion. It's still a crime.
Facts.
It's always justifiable when it's on the side of the law.
So it's only 3 states: South Carolina, Oklahoma, and Mississippi.
Oh, I'm only saying
Did
one
you hear the
thing
states
again.
though? Did you hear the states?
Not yet. Y'all know,
Right.
don't
Nope.
forget where you living at.
Cap
What
City,
say
don't
one more
forget.
time?
Oklahoma, South
Confederate.
Carolina,
Oh,
and
Confederate.
Mississippi.
No, Oklahoma wasn't a Confederate.
I'm not surprised with Mississippi. That's gonna be the last to change.
Yeah.
Hey, Mississippi.
Yeah,
Mississippi.
always the last to change.
That's one I don't even wanna go to.
I drove through Mississippi
I don't
and
even
stopped at
wanna
the
go.
gas station and it was creepy.
So
I'm
get
sure.
this.
We backed out of there. We didn't even turn our backs on the people in the store.
Look, let me say, if I go to Mississippi, I'm gonna have some gas tanks full in my trunk.
Oh, yeah.
So I ain't even gotta stop and get gas.
Oh, yeah.
I just-
I think that's a sundown state.
Exactly.
It is. I think it is.
Listen, you gotta cross that border.
So this says after dozens of botched, painful, lethal injections in recent years. So yes, they can feel it. Prisoners in at least 10 states have been making a surreal argument. They would prefer a firing squad.
Well, why don't they just bring back the beheading too? Why don't they just do all that other
Just go
barbaric
straight
crap,
back
man?
into the Victorian
Jesus
days, I guess.
Christ.
I'm just sitting here thinking, like, how do they come up with this? How do they come up with electric chair? They had to test it out on somebody, right?
Listen, it was all kind of like tomfoolery going on
That's just
with the
crazy.
experiments of medicine, period.
But
when you think about
Kind of random and off subject. Have you guys ever watched them hanging? I think was it Osama bin Laden? No, Saddam Hussein. They actually had that on YouTube for quite a while.
I
Like
didn't see
the
that.
whole hanging.
What?
Like him literally like his neck breaking and
Oh,
him
no.
hanging there and
No,
that was crazy.
clearly.
I'm gonna send
No.
it to y'all later.
No.
I'm gonna send it to y'all.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, you can send me the link. I might click on
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
Knowing that that's not a movie, I'll turn my head in the movie. Knowing that's real.
That shit was real.
No.
Nice. That was very random too.
I know. Random facts.
Thank you.
I mean, that's kind of like lethal. Like a cheer. That's cruel.
It's wild. I don't know all of the job duties of a Supreme Court judge, but do they have any right or can they bring up stuff like this and possibly?
I don't think it would have to go through the steps of
Yeah.
I would assume that
judicial system.
there's more than one Supreme Court judge, so just like all the other stuff, you could be the one that be all against it, and you got 13
I was
other
about to say
motherfuckers
that would be
that
100%
all
the
for
majority
it.
is ruling
Yeah.
all over it.
Now I know this is off topic since we were just bringing up that kind of stuff. Did y'all see when the people stole the babies that was aborted?
What are you
No,
talking
what
about?
happened?
Wait,
They
what?
stole like 50-some fetuses.
And then what with them?
Right. And were these fetuses dead?
They
Yeah,
was
they were
aborted.
aborted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She missed that word.
You okay?
I did understand.
What's it?
You know what?
That,
You know
that
what
word
abortion
escaped me. I'm so
Jesus
sorry.
Christ.
Yeah.
My
Do
lord.
you need me to look up the definition of the
No,
word?
Word.
100%.
What happened? I mean, I didn't
I
hear
know.
Well, what was the purpose of that though? Like that's
Well, no, I'm
weird.
talking over. So I'm thinking what they was doing was gonna
Your
use
search history is gonna be wild.
it. Right. I think they was gonna use it like when they do the protesting and stuff. Like I guess it was.
Well, why?
Are
Are you kidding me?
They showed it on the news.
world
Showed
do
it
we
in a
live
little
in?
bag.
And what you gonna do? Put that in the refrigerator and keep that on
This
ice?
was on local news or this was
Yeah.
on national news?
It was on national news.
Well, I guess the other question that I have too, what is the protocol after you get an abortion? Like, I don't think that legally you're supposed to be able to take that home. So, what do they just keep them like locked up somewhere, or like why not immediately dispose of that? Like,
I would think.
Okay,
I would
okay.
think
So
it's
they
like
probably
any-
do. They
I
probably
was
got
gonna say,
it
I
from.
think it's like any
that.
other like specimen that you gather. I mean, just think about it.
it's,
How many people go in for a procedure for an abortion a day? And you gather these things because it's not going to be taken out one by one. That's money.
Well, yeah.
You're going to gather all these things, and then a truck is going to come.
I would assume it's
And
like
pick
this
up.
the same process as getting something amputated. I think
would
there are
want
certain
this.
protocols.
Yeah,
Like
I
I
mean,
think
it's
you
the whole thing.
have an option of like burning it or something or whatever.
You do, but if you don't,
Talk about like the arm. It seems very insensitive to refer to a fetus as a it.
Yeah.
I mean, but at the end of the day,
Yeah.
It kind of is because you don't know what sex it
Yeah,
was.
true.
that's the thing. That's
Are you looking this up now?
So this anti-abortion activist had 5 fetuses in her apartment.
This is what I'm
She
saying.
said she took 110 off a medical waste truck outside of the clinic. She took them back to her apartment and laid them on a table so they could be given a proper burial.
I want to say all. I mean, but that is freakish. But some people are passionate about
They are, but what
certain
is this
things,
world
but that's
coming to?
crazy. That is insane. That's insanity.
Yeah, to have any
That
type
is
of
insanity.
any type of
What would
Lit-
even make you wake up and say, I'm gonna go grab 5 fetuses today?
or 100.
And
Or
then put them on your table.
What table? The coffee table?
So she's saying her action should be defended. Because, wait a minute. Lauren on the president, she defended her actions in a news conference on Tuesday where the group claimed federal laws were broken at a Washington surgical center.
First of all, you
What laws were broken?
Right.
You
Well, the laws were broken,
stealing.
but she stole
you
them.
stealing.
She
Right.
stole medical, surgical stuff.
And at the end of the day, the family should have the right to choose to do whatever they want to do. It's like if they wanted to just
That would be like her breaking into a morgue
And still
and stole all the John Does and Jane Does so they can have a proper burial.
You can't do
You
that.
can't do that. Yeah.
You
Same thing.
cannot.
And if she's an activist, that means she didn't want to kill the baby. And she was against killing the
The
baby.
baby's
Well,
already
when
dead.
did-
What are you-
So why steal it? That's a
When-
person
when
who
do
stole.
we, like, stop crossing lines as an activist?
Yeah, how
Like,
far is too far?
How far
That's
is
what
too
we're doing.
far?
Right.
You know
Well,
what I mean?
stealing something that's not yours is definitely too far because
Yeah.
you broke the law. They didn't break the law by having an abortion or performing it,
Right.
but you broke it by stealing. So because you morally don't agree with
These aren't
it,
even your
doesn't mean you
fetuses.
can't break the
Like,
law.
what connection is there? Now
Well-
we gotta talk about the mental
well-
health. You see how we always circle back?
Yeah.
You say what connection is there, but look at how PETA is over any animals and they're not even their own pets.
Have you ever had a conversation with anybody from PETA? I have. I've had a conversation with a person who's affiliated with PETA, and those people are not rat type. Just trying to say.
There's a lot of people that are really passionate about things.
Right, I mean,
They
I
are.
don't-
Right.
I
That's
don't-
what I'm saying.
I don't know if you can really say that.
I'm just trying to
Well, we're
say.
not going to say that a whole collective or group is one thing. However,
Some of them.
what I am going to say to you,
Follow me.
I'm just saying. You can't.
right.
what I am going to say to you is
All right.
that I want to know how they can make more progress with animals than our civil rights leaders have ever made with blacks or women.
Because we're a different type of
I mean,
animal.
Because PETA, when there's an animal mistreated, PETA is on that shit.
Look at
Let it be a black
they
person mistreated.
ruined Michael
Michael
Vick's
Vick's
career.
career.
Let it be a black person mistreated. Ain't nothing popping off for a minute.
What was that other football player that was intoxicated and speeding and ended up hitting a lady while she was walking a dog? And he
Oh,
got
this
like
was
I feel like he got
recently.
time for
Oh,
killing
PETA.
the lady
This
and
was-
killing the
this
dog.
was
Like he got
recently.
time for
I
like
see
that.
That was
Yeah.
like last year or the year before
And if
last.
PETA, I don't know about it, but if PETA was involved in it at all, I guarantee she got more time for killing the dog.
Then-
Especially if that lady was black.
No, it was a white. It was. I mean, it was still a life lost, but I believe it was
Right.
a white lady and a little white poodle.
And she probably got more time for the little white people. PETA is
I'm trying not to laugh at it, man.
But look, y'all, for real, PETA is on it. I don't know what they do. I don't know what passion they have, but PETA is on any type of animal stuff.
Well,
and
can we
it's
get
crazy.
who up there that had a PETA? Because they need to be on Black Lives Matter.
Exactly. Speaking of
Oh,
Black Lives Matter.
Oh,
Let's go.
man.
Go ahead, Thomas. Let's go.
Oh, man.
It's always us.
Always.
They need new leadership. They
What?
need new leadership.
No, let's talk about it.
Under construction, Black Lives Matter.
What
I'm just
in
trying
the
to
world?
say, like,
So
disappointed.
Black
got
Lives
caught up with
Matter.
the PPP.
I am so
Co-founder, Patrice Culley. Go ahead, Brown. That's your name. What do you want to say about Ms. Patrice? That's your name.
How do you use that money that's supposed to help us with our movement and buy
I have a question for you, so I want you to
$6
speak to
million
your point.
mansion?
Listen, the come up. And this is what I'm saying. We cannot get out of our own way.
That's horrible.
We cannot get out. You formalize, literally took Beyonce's formation to a whole nother level. You create this movement that's literally in the streets in the midst of a pandemic.
And literally in the eyes of the wrong person, you can use that as like pretty much fuel to say that the whole organization is like, why does it matter? Look what they do.
And that's the
This is
shit.
It kind of makes
This
us
is
look
exactly
crazy.
what I was talking about, right?
And you know they're gonna clearly put that like, hey, well, why should we care? Like, look what the
Like,
look what
right.
the
They don't even care that they
no
taking the money and spending it
credibility.
on a house.
No
like what?
credibility.
people like that and Justice.
It's awful.
And Jesse Smollett.
But I'm just saying that's awful. Why is our culture like this? It bothers me so much
Well,
that we. Why?
Because
Before you get-
we only get sound bites of people's lives, especially like on TV. We only get sound bites. So you hear the good that people do. Like these people created Black Lives Matter. But these people are also people. These people got history, they got past, they got lives, they got shit they into. Like,
Let me ask
Wait,
you this.
so I could see if you created this organization and you were paying yourself, because even though you create an organization, you still got bills to pay yourself. So you still, paying yourself to do the
Do
job.
the business.
To do
Understood.
the job.
Understood.
But to take money that you're raising for this and buy a mansion, $6 million.
Have we
You
had
could
this,
even go ahead and get a $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 house and get a mansion.
have we
$6
have
million.
we had this discussion about finding people guilty
They're
without
already
proving?
guilty. They're already guilty.
Why?
I mean,
Are we innocent before proving
If
guilty?
they did it, they're guilty.
Who said she did it?
so
The media?
Fox Facts, there has to be
Some truth to it.
She's
public-
made a
there-
comment.
there has to be-
Have you heard her statement?
there has to be public
What
record.
was the statement?
What was the statement?
Her statement, and I quote,
Whose statement?
The
Patrice.
Okay, come on, Patrice.
I have never misappropriated funds. And it pains me that so many people have accepted the narrative without the presence of tangible truth or facts. Nevertheless, this will be made clear upon the release of the BLM 990s. So my question to y'all,
The 990s.
it's a tax.
I'm assuming it's a tax form.
Okay.
So my question to y'all is, why are you automatically assuming this lady used $6 million from the BLM? You don't know what was in her bank account. You don't know what other income she had. Why, just because she was a part of BLM or co-founder BLM doesn't mean she used BLM funds to buy her house. And if she used her own funds,
Furthermore,
why can't she buy a $6 million house? Why would she just have to buy a few $100,000 house?
If she did,
That's
if she
not what
did,
she
you
wants.
might-
The same reason why people complain when a pastor buys a Maserati or a Tesla or something, they claim that they're using the church funds to live a life of luxury while they have.
And is that right? You said the same reason, but is that right?
I'm saying that I said the same reason. That's why people think that way.
But I'm asking you all, because y'all were already agreed on it, because we can talk about the pastor thing. And I mean,
My
that's
thing
a
is
whole
this,
nother thing, because
if
I
there
don't
was
agree with
no
that.
truth,
It would have came out.
if there was no truth to this story, it wouldn't be a story.
Not true.
Right.
Come on.
She bought and let's get back to the pastors. Just because a pastor buys $1 million home, first of all, if he's a pastor of a large enough church, they pay him a salary.
Absolutely.
If he can afford it on his salary, who cares what size house? What?
Right,
who cares what size
That
house?
wouldn't be
I don't
news.
care. I was
It's
saying
not
that's what people.
That's
think.
what
I
people
ain't say
think.
that's how I thought.
Well, so you were saying it though. We're talking about Patrice, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even with Patrice,
You said, why do people assume that they're
No.
guilty? And I said the same reason why they assume a pastor is
so basically what I was
Oh, it was a
referring to
comparison.
is you guys' opinion, because y'all saying that she's guilty,
All I'm
Y'all saying why?
I'm saying,
Y'all saying
all
my
I'm
people.
saying is,
or did I misunderstand?
if there was no truth to that, why would it even be a topic?
Because she bought a $6 million house, so people just assume
Where it
she
came
did
from?
it.
Where it
Well,
come
I mean,
But that's the thing.
But also,
Who?
if you think about it this way too, if you
Where's
got
the
enough
come from?
money to afford a $6 million house, why are you taking donations?
Speak
The,
on
sa-
it.
the same reason we have people out here. Why is this country in so much in debt when we have people out here with this excess of money, like Oprah, all these athletes and stuff? They children's don't ever have to work. But when the country's in debt, we still have homeless children. We still have homeless veterans.
How you know overnight you're not helping some of the homeless
Oh, she
kids?
helping the homeless kids over there.
In Africa, have you
over in Africa, she helping them.
She
She
may
might
be
be
right.
she might be sprinkling some crumbs over in Chicago, but
And I'm not trying to tell any of them what to do with their money.
no.
But what I'm
it's
saying
definitely
is,
a write-off when you go
Right.
overseas, though.
right, so they can do what they want to do. It is.
Okay.
But they can do what they want to do with their money. But I say
You know
that
what
to
a write-off
say,
is.
I say that to say maybe she should not have to put her own funds in. Maybe she has put a lot of her own funds in. But just because she put her own funds in doesn't mean she still doesn't have $600 million.
And that's what they teach you in finance, though. You never put your own funds in.
Right, because
You
that-
always use
right.
your funds.
So that's why she's asking for donations then.
But what I'm saying, I said if I could rewind right now, you would hear me say if she did that, she's guilty.
If she did that, she's guilty. You're right. But what I'm saying to you is, y'all are sitting here just saying she did it. Or did I misunderstand?
It's
Tell me if I
in
misunderstand.
the news that
All I'm saying
she
is
did
that
it.
there is.
Okay.
Why would there Why would we be talking about this?
I'll go out on a limb and just say where there's smoke, there's fire.
So what I'm saying to you all is, what have we heard? And I'm just asking, because maybe I have not heard everything. And y'all already know I don't keep up on the news, which is why I'm reading stuff to you now. So my question to you guys, on a personal level, I'm questioning you.
So do we need to change your name to Fox Non-Fact?
No, because I'm
Your
pulling
name changes right now.
I may not know the facts, but I'll pull them up while we're having this conversation.
Amen.
So my question to you is, how do you feel on a personal level about that? Do you feel she's guilty? Do you feel she's in the wrong for buying a $6 million home?
I feel like if she's deserving of a $6 million house, right, do what your heart's content. But if you know for a fact that a convenient situation happened during an inconvenient time and space, and you were able to get some funds, and you misappropriated those funds, that's a crime.
So my question though is, are people assuming she misappropriated the funds because she bought a $6 million home? Or are they assuming she did it because there's some paperwork that's not coming up right? That's my question.
I didn't read all the facts, so I could be
Right.
guilty of not reading all the facts. But where did she work before this?
Why now does she have a $6 million home?
Again, no offense, but Black Lives Matter. How do they have enough money to be able to support paying her that amount of money where she can afford that house?
$6 million. If
Now,
that's
that
all
right there
if that's all she do, now she
is
could have
what
some
they call
businesses.
the
She could have some businesses. She could have invested her money properly.
She
But
could
She could have
have.
had money saved up, but everyone's assuming
Again, how likely
that
is that
she's
though?
not
Black
doing it.
Lives Matter
I like that.
really
It's really
got
a new
off the
thing.
ground when Michael Brown died. That was not that long ago. You telling me that Black Lives Matter, this Black Lives Matter, that no one really cares about but the Black lives, right? You're telling me, if you look it up, Fox Facts, Michael Brown died what, maybe 12 years ago? Black Lives Matter made that much money to give this young lady enough funding.
That's my point. But if she saved her salary, or if she didn't take money out of a Black Lives Matter account and buy her home, and if she just took the money out of a salary, or she took her money out for what she invested,
What the hell type of salary was she getting paid to the point with over 12
And
years?
where are the donations going? The donations are going straight to Black Lives Matter. I'm handing you my donation, and then you gotta, you know what I'm saying?
You want pause? We can't.
Yeah, we
No,
can't have
no.
it now.
Come on now. I ain't never seen the Jackson 5. We be performing and Tito walk his ass on stage like that. I'm
okay,
joking.
first of all, I'm Randy.
I'm Randy.
She ain't say Paul, she ain't give us a chance.
Yeah, you did give it a try. Just got up and just
Throw
left.
it out. Excuse me.
And we're back.
And we are back. Pardon the interruption.
So what I'm saying is that we don't know where the money came from. If the money did not come from an account that said Black Lives Matter, why is it not okay for her to buy her $6 million home?
It just looks suspicious. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so my question to you is, if we're speaking about how we're looking at this the wrong way, because we don't know the facts until the facts are the facts, guilty until proven innocent, or innocent
Innocent
until
until
proven
proven
guilty,
guilty,
right? Why would there be why would there be a need to quit as the founder of Black Lives Matter?
Did she just quit?
She wants
No,
to
this is
heal.
resigned.
Right.
Yeah, but that right there is a sign of guilt. Because if you didn't
why?
do anything, I'm still working. Like, I didn't do nothing. What y'all talking about?
Right.
Why you quit? That's just really like.
Right.
She said, I really thought I was gonna die. That's the quotation.
And that might be why she did that, because you don't know. Some people handle things differently. If you were getting death threats, or if you were getting some sort of threats and things like that, because I don't know what's happening, but if you were, I would just say, you know what? I don't need to do this. I don't have the fight in me. I'm just going to step down. And you'll see that I was innocent all along, but I don't want to be a part of this organization if you're going to find me guilty, because I know I would feel like
Well, I
that.
hope she has a great CPA.
She
I don't feel like that if I'm innocent.
Well, she should.
And she may feel like that, but I'm just saying,
She should have learned from Trump.
and
Just
she did.
Release the tax document.
And she
Right.
did.
Right.
She learned that you can
Release
still
the
be
tax
president, you can
Right.
still have
Show
a
me the
government
show me the
power.
receipts.
Let's see your statement.
Just get the receipts,
Right.
man. Don't quit your
Show
job.
me your receipts, baby girl.
I'm just saying with her, we should just, after she's made her
Her
comment.
Black Life Matters.
Right. Her Black life matters too. We don't know what was going on in her bank account. We don't know what she already had, what she had saved, what she had invested, what she had come into. We don't know any of that. And until we have proof that she took it out of a Black Lives Matter account, then I would think that regardless of my title,
Or
if I was a pastor or whatever, why can't I buy a $6 million home just because I have a title? If I can afford it, and if you are paying me that much, so what? That's why a lot of people, including myself, don't like to really give to Goodwill because of how much Goodwill is paying the executives. How much is really going to the Goodwill stuff, people that need stuff. And them prices in Goodwill, I might as well just go and get it brand new, some of the stuff. So, if you don't want to pay it, and if you're paying the
Don't take it to
executives too
Goodwill,
much.
take it to a shelter where you know the people in the shelter gonna be able to
Well,
use
that's
it.
what I'm saying. Some people do that, some people don't. And that's what I'm
Is
saying.
Goodwill
But
a non-profit organization?
I
They
don't
gotta
know.
be for profit though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
it
they
has to
sell
Because
it.
they sell
Because I
it.
know, yeah, they sell it. Because
It's a-
I know if you
yeah.
drop something off, they might give you a couple $dollars for it, but they
No,
They don't give
you
anything.
like, okay,
They
so
give
they
you a
give you
receipt for your taxes.
And you can write it up on your.
Yeah,
You
you
know
can
how to
write
write up
whatever
is
you
right.
want.
You know how to write up
Yeah.
is.
Yep.
I'm gonna ask everybody that one night. It's not you personally. I
But- I say that to say I would like to see how it's gonna all come out, but I would say, you know what? Let's stop finding people guilty before they're proven guilty.
But that's what the media does, and it's easy. I like it.
That's what the media does. But why are we as people? Why do we have to jump on that bandwagon?
True.
You know, Patrice said it's the racists that's reporting this.
I mean, there's some truth in that, though.
That's what she
but
said.
That's what she said.
There's some truth. Might be some truth
According
in
to the
that.
New York Post.
There's some
BLM
truth in that.
Patrice Collars, is that her name? Collars slams racist report on an organization buying $6 million SoCal claim. So where exactly is she from?
She sounds like she's a scammer from Brooklyn to me.
Right, but so why would you have a Southern California mansion? Why would you buy a mansion in SoCal? This smells like a rat fox.
I mean, I'm just saying.
I'm sorry.
I'm Fox.
I'm sorry.
Or Crystal.
I am sorry.
Right. Crystal.
Crystal.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's something's not
I mean,
right.
you can't sit up there
This
and
smells
don't say
like-
that
this
it don't
smells
smell
like
risky.
It's giving what's his name, Harry Madoff or
You from
And here I go back to playing devil's advocate.
Ponzi
gotta stop
scheme.
it.
You're right. You always gotta
It's
pick
giving
a girl.
Ponzi.
There may be
You
some
can't play
guilt.
devil's advocate and be a part of God's property.
You
You gotta
There may be some guilt, but there also may be some innocent. Why do we think the guilt always outweighs the innocence?
No,
of it?
I don't think that. But
We
I
should
do
be found-
believe
we
that
should
if
be
there was
innocent
innocence, this
until
wouldn't even be a story.
But it could be a story just because she bought the house, and now people want to make. Just like, why is it a story that Obama produced his birth certificate and he was born in the U.S. as many
Because
times
Trump
as
was talking
said?
about it.
Exactly. So
So
maybe
he got the New York Post.
maybe it's somebody Trump like talking about her buying a $6 million home.
Why
I
did
don't
she do
know.
a $6 million home?
That part.
Well, I don't know how much your house is, but
Or
why
maybe
did you
she
need a
got it for a Black Lives
$300,000
Matter.
house?
Maybe she got it for Black Lives Matter.
Why
so
did
she
you
can
need it?
have things. She can have,
Tell me why you need a
If you have big a $6
$300,000 house.
million, I done moved two couple
In
families
California,
in
it's probably the size of my house.
there. No.
No, I
You
saw
see what I'm
it.
saying?
It's
But
definitely-
I'm just saying.
It's a
why-
vision.
Right.
What if,
It's definitely a
so what if
vision.
the person that lives 10 minutes down the street in one of the courts want to know why you need a $300,000 house?
What?
I don't know. Me personally, if I ever
Why do
come
you
in-
need a $400,000 house?
I wouldn't buy no house that.
Why would you need a $500,000
I wouldn't buy a
house?
$6 million house. If I had $6 million,
I wouldn't either.
I would probably I would buy the whole cul-de-sac. I would live in one
So
house and then
ask
everybody else in my
Everybody
family
else,
would
right.
have.
So has any of y'all actually
Okay.
crossed what did he need with all that house?
Well, he
I know that he was selling
used it as a
drugs.
business
Yeah,
purpose.
I know that he was selling drugs and he flipped his bag.
But I mean, just think about coming to
That's what I'm
America was filmed there, so he making money off his home.
But before that, he bought the house for himself.
Because he could afford it.
Right.
I feel like he
Maybe she can afford a $6 million. That's all I'm saying.
Show
Thank
me
you.
the paper.
Thank you. You answered the question for me. I'm
Show
done.
me the receipt.
I'm done.
Well, I doubt.
Thank you.
I
You proved my point.
again, I'm gonna go bring it back to Peter. If she was working like the motherfuckers at Peter's working and bought the $6 million house,
Right.
No
You good.
pigs left
You
behind
good.
with Peter.
if the owner at Peter bought the $6 million house,
Ain't
motherfucker
no
deserves
cows
it.
left behind.
Tell
So
me
they
why.
probably got for plenty of $6 million homes.
Cause I can't even go out there and yell at the dog without Peter coming out and giving me a
Right
ticket or
for it.
something.
What you say?
But I'm over it because y'all just proved my point. Thank you.
Whatever.
Y'all answered my question for me.
But I'm saying it's different. It's different if you're a rapper and you live in that lifestyle. Then you know you won't do it big.
You
But this is
understand
a Black
people-
Lives Movement person.
I mean, it's just like it's
Her house
almost
ain't her house more expensive than Rick Ross's house?
who, $6 million?
No. What are you talking
Is Rick
about?
Ross's house more than $6 million?
The one that Coming to America was filmed?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I think Rick Ross's house is not necessarily the biggest. It's the fact that he has all that land too.
He has a lot.
He
of
has
land.
a lot of land. Like I don't know, buying land is something that.
That's
That's a
not
thing.
anything that can be
That's a thing.
reproduced. It's you know what I'm saying?
But buying land is a damn thing.
Right. We all need to do that.
It is. Invest your money properly, guys. That's brought to you by Boss Consulting Group.
I definitely thought if I had some money, I'd try to buy like commercial property and rent that thing out. It's a great passive income.
And it's something you can pass on.
So that house is valued at $10 million.
Okay.
Rick Ross's house? Okay.
What do you buy it for?
No,
Pull up the tax document.
we're just looking at
Come on, back.
$9.90.
Pull up the 1099.
Let's put it well, if you paid $10 million for it and now it's valued at $10 million, so he could sell it at $10 million. So why can't she buy $6 million?
Because I know
Because
Black
I'm
Lives
just trying to
Matter.
figure
ain't
out-
paying that
But you
Right.
don't know what other type of money she had, or if she invested her
Well,
money.
are
and
you
she's a
saying
millionaire.
that she be receiving
So
funding
you
from the
pull it
lobbyists?
up.
Is that what
What's
you're
up?
saying?
Wiki fact.
Yeah, what is her salary should be
Yes.
public.
What is her net worth? What is her net worth? Can she afford a $6 million house? Listen to all this judgment. I
It is.
am not
We
living like
horrible.
this.
We are terrible.
Are you?
Y'all are.
Is your name Karen?
Oh, right now. Right now. With a K. Karen. With a K and a Y.
Fox Facts is pulling up the information.
Man, listen, we gotta make sure we stay on task here.
Yeah.
We just not throwing out opinions a lot.
Because we was
We
giving them
were.
all.
We was just firing shade.
But
and shots.
meanwhile, this a lot of stuff is for educational purposes. We're supposed to have a
Absolutely.
little bit of fun. We out here drinking
Absolutely.
and just talking shit.
It's happy hour. That's what we do.
Yeah.
We ain't gotta be right when we talk about
Right.
happy hour. That's our opinion.
It's our opinion. Real
Okay.
talk, real conversation.
So if I pull up her net worth is just gonna show me her net worth, right? That's an asset versus minus liabilities.
That's the
So
matter.
she's already purchased a $6 million house. That's now a liability.
Is it?
So her net worth could be less than the $6 million because
Do
that's
you
her
have
net
that in
worth.
front of
What-
you
what
right
is
now?
that?
I feel like
Is
you're
that
giving
not
us-
saying
I feel like
it
you're
is
giving us-
less.
I feel like
It's
you're
less.
giving us- I say that. I feel like you're giving a disclaimer.
I am. So her net worth is $2 million. But her net worth could have been worth $8 million, and now she has a liability of
If your
$6
net
million. So
worth
now
is
she's
eight-
only.
No,
So let's do
no.
the math.
No, she
If your
paid.
net worth is $8 million,
She paid.
why are you buying a $6 million home?
Yeah, because
But it's not even a liability
anymore.
anymore. She paid for it. She didn't finance it. She paid for it. It's not a liability. That's an asset.
Oh, so she paid for it in cash.
Yeah.
Did she pay for the cash?
They said she paid for a $6
No,
million
they said she
home.
bought.
They just say she
Well,
financed.
first of all, by
They don't
default,
say
you
that.
pay that much money
If
in
you're only worth $8 million.
but if you pay that amount of money in something, they're gonna look into some shit, and if they find some shit, somebody's gonna raise their hand.
And
Like they're not gonna make
that
a
was
story out of
raised.
She
nothing.
just
This
said
is
she
why we're
bought
talking
a
about it.
$6 million house. That doesn't mean she didn't finance some of it.
I know one thing for sure, two things for certain. I ain't never seen nothing come out about Rick Ross, about none of these people, about them misappropriating funds when they go buy something. So there must be some sort of truth to it.
That's because we assume that they're making this money.
Who?
You don't have to. I mean, we assume
You're
that
assuming
nobody.
that Rick Ross is making money?
So what I'm saying is, they said she bought a $6
Fucking
million home.
Wingstop, all that.
Ravioli.
She bought a $6 million. I mean, we know Rick Ross is making money, but I'm just saying, she bought a $6 million home, but that doesn't mean she could not afford it. I know I don't make a year what my house is valued at or what I bought it for. So I bought it for more than what I'm valued at. So just because she bought it for $6 million
Scratch
doesn't
that.
mean that she's.
Scratch that. You worked in finance. You know more. We know
Talk
more
about it.
about finance than to say that out of your mouth.
Didn't say what.
Because
Her
over the
net
years,
worth is $2 million.
but over the years, first of all, you're not gonna get a house financed for more than what you can afford.
Okay. Well, no. Listen, but hold on. Break that down though. That's what I just said.
I want to break it down. How am I gonna break it down if you talk?
No, that's what I just said though. I just said that.
Okay, I'm glad you got separated, guys. Come on, guys.
All right.
Well, what I'm saying is, when you financed it, that means you could afford a certain number of a home.
Mm-hmm.
But over the years, your house increased in value, which makes it way more. It's worth more now than it was when you bought it here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what are you saying?
What I'm saying is that
You just said you don't make enough to afford the house that you live in.
no, that's not what I said.
That ain't what she said.
That's not. I didn't say I didn't make enough to afford
She
it.
said I don't make that a year, right?
What my house is valued at, I don't make a year. That's what I said.
She still don't get my point, but it's fine.
I get your point. You haven't allowed me to make my point.
Oh, okay.
I get your point. But maybe when I got your point, I'm assuming you misunderstood what I said or what I was trying to say. And what I was trying to say was, just because her house is valued at $6 million, doesn't mean she makes $6 million, and it doesn't say she paid for it in cash.
But even so, you said that her net worth is $2 million.
Mm-hmm.
That's her net worth. You gonna buy a $6 million home?
But you can actually finance 3 times of what your salary is to afford a home. That's what they judge.
I was gonna say my net worth may not be the amount that my house is valued at. And same thing with her.
So if she's valued at $2 million, she's able to finance a $6 million home.
Right. Because it doesn't say she paid in cash. And she may have, I'm not denying that, but it doesn't say that. It just says she bought a $6 million home. I bought my house.
I think she related to Patricia.
Yeah, Patrice. I'm just trying to say, y'all just assuming the worst out of a person, and I'm trying to tell y'all, she may not have done anything bad, and people just automatically assuming that. She said she's going to prove it.
So everything, so you like Trump, fake news. Everything that we read is fake news.
I'm not saying everything you read is fake news, but are you telling me that everything you read is real news? 100% factual? Is that what you're telling me?
I ain't say it was, but I'm saying.
That's okay.
I got a question, but
I'm going
to talk about it.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay. So nobody is going to say something about you. Well, I don't want to say it like that. Nobody's going to say something about you that has some truth to it if it's not true.
Well, she's a co-founder of BLM, which we know a lot of people want to just shut it down, delete it, have it disposed of, so you never know. And once Wynn got out that she bought a home for $6 million, it's going to automatically be where's she getting $6 million from? She stole it from this. Or let me just say she did just to cause some ruckus. Because we know these Trump supporters will say stuff just to cause some ruckus.
They can cause ruckus, but that wouldn't stop the movement.
That's defamation of character, though.
It may not,
but
we're talking about T supporters. Stop doing it.
Freedom of press. So.
I feel like if it's only one person, you're just gonna get rid of that person. If it's true, you're gonna get them out of the organization. The whole organization shouldn't fall just because.
If you cared about the organization, the whole organization shouldn't fall. But we have people out here, I'm not saying that people are doing it, but we have people out here that would do it to have the organization fail. They don't want the organization. So I'm not saying that she's 100%
It's just
innocent.
not her. This organization has tentacles.
But she's a co-founder. You take the top off, the house will eventually fall. It may not fall all immediately, but if you take that top off and bricks start falling, layers will start falling.
I mean, she's already
You
resigned.
replace that roof on the
Absolutely.
You can replace the roof, but you have to replace the roof before it falls.
Well, not only that, but we look at your bank. Some of your banks, they're started by founding members, but those founding members don't continue on and run the company. They start the company and then they take a step back and someone else does it. And I feel like if this is true, or even if it isn't true, she started it. That's fine. The foundation has a purpose and it's gonna run.
Right, but it's gonna have to rebuild. This is gonna still cause damage. It's gonna have a delay of some sort. Your reputation. So it may not crumble all down together, but there's gonna be some sort of effect So again, I'm not saying that she's innocent because I don't have all the facts in front of me. I don't know all of the facts. But I'm definitely not saying that she's guilty. But what I am saying is there is probable cause for some people to try to cause this turmoil within the Black Lives Matter within the community.
I
And
don't
it's
think
possible.
I don't think any of us were saying she was immediately guilty, but
That's
we
why
were making the argument that
Yeah,
no one's
I was
gonna
straight
bring
up
up
saying-
something
I
like
know,
that about
I
you
heard
that's
that.
true. I'm just saying.
Now, I'll
if
pay.
that's what you're saying, then I can go ahead and agree with that. But like Brian said,
I was straight up saying.
yeah.
You got you to shut up.
And I'll play devil's advocate. So, what do you think about Trump? You think he was lying on taxes?
I listen. Whether he was lying about his taxes or not, because of a lot of other things, I feel like Trump's a liar. So I just can't really just go on anything Trump says. At this point, Trump's gonna have to prove
I mean,
everything.
he held the Bible upside down on national TV. Like,
Right, but what was the point of doing that anyway? Go
Right.
stand in front of the church and pose.
It's Trump. Listen, now why are y'all asking why Trump did? First of all, this is a smart businessman. And I will say he's a smart man, he's a great businessman.
But
He is also a liar.
sometimes in business, you gotta make crooked deals. Like somebody has to get the short
And
end of
that's
the
true.
stick.
Which why he should not be the head of the United States. I'm not. Whatever. Trump is a liar.
He did it.
he
So
said
now-
that.
And they trying to bring it back for real.
I don't think Republicans gonna do that.
We're probably gonna have to edit this end part. What the hell is Joe doing?
I don't know.
Hey, Joe.
Well, what we do know is he's nominating,
Slow
and
down.
his first choice
Yeah,
was
He said
Miss
he
Ketanji.
wanted a black queen in the house, is what he said.
Like black women.
I think so.
Maybe he does, but you know, he's having a lot of firsts out here. Other than that, I don't know what else he's doing. But he has some firsts out here. I appreciate him. I appreciate everything he's done, or some of the things he's done, because I don't know everything.
I'm
He's
just
mighty
glad
quiet
he
in the
got
White
Trump out of the
House.
office. So.
That part.
I think that's where a lot of us are. Even
Whatever.
though,
Anybody?
yeah.
Anybody but Trump.
Anybody. It could have been a fucking sock puppet.
But guess what, y'all? That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah,
It
but
is,
another
Because
day.
I think we could go hours and hours.
We
sing
could.
Nope.
Hours,
Nope.
hours,
Nope.
and hours
Nope.
about Trump.
Nope.
Money long.
But that's a whole nother topic. But for this topic, I think I'm over it. We have our first black Supreme Court judge.
Yeah.
I love that.
This sucks that this man has to choose how he dies.
Yeah, that's
The firing squad situation.
For the electric chair,
Right,
really
this
sucks.
hit me through the heart. And hopefully it just goes in there.
I'm mad that this lady chose to steal 110 aborted fetuses, because that's just
bananas.
mentally crazy.
She needs
to have done that.
Pray for Brooklyn.
Pray for
We're
Brooklyn.
gonna pray for
Yeah.
Brooklyn.
Yes.
We're gonna pray for Brooklyn. Most definitely that this was over and done with, and it's not gonna turn into
I just wonder what's gonna happen when they catch him.
yeah. I hope it's not gonna turn into a DC sniper type thing. And
I hope not either.
yeah.
They gotta get them.
And then we are going to be hopeful that Miss Patrice did not take money from Black Lives Matter.
I'm hoping
I'm
she
hoping so
innocent.
too.
I'm hoping she
Well,
innocent.
guess
I hope
what?
it was fake news.
Guess what? They're gonna make a documentary. It's gonna be on Netflix, and it's gonna be just like Bill.
Yes.
We gonna know, baby. We gonna know she did it, just like
Right.
Bill did.
Let's talk about Patrice.
Right.
Right. Let's talk about. We need to talk about Patrice.
But
Yeah.
the girl that killed her boyfriend, I mean, if that wasn't self-defense, I hope she gets time too. So.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't something, I'm sure.
I mean, at this point, I don't know what it is, but you know, still praying for everybody that's affected. Because if she did, that's just so many lives destroyed. And so everything that we've really talked about today, I'm prayerful everything comes out truthfully. And
I felt like she's talking specifically about Patrice, but
Yeah.
I am with her, and I also just want to say again, I'm just proud of Miss Jackson.
What's
Yeah.
Patrice's
Proud of
last
Miss
name?
Jackson.
Y'all got the same last name?
No,
colors.
yes.
They have about the same complexion.
But I'm just 100% proud of Miss Jackson, and with that, that's it.
Are we wrapping this up?
Yeah.
All right, y'all need to do us a favor. Do us a favor and like us and follow us on YouTube, right? No, yes, no,
Yeah.
and on Instagram.
Subscribe to
Instagram,
YouTube.
Twitter.
Follow us on
Twitter.
Instagram and
Yeah.
Facebook and Twitter.
Send it to your grandma. Make sure your grandma
Share,
watches it.
share,
And your
share.
grandpa too.
Yeah, you don't forget your grandpa.
Yeah, and if y'all have any topics y'all would like for us to discuss, email it at let's talk about it HH podcast At gmail.com.
At Gmail. Or you can DM us on Instagram.
Or instant messages on Facebook. Either way, we'll get it.
Yeah, everything is Let's Talk About It HH Podcast. So follow us, share. And we out.
Peace, love, and
Bye.
soul.
I think it's taken.